Nick, what's up, man? Dr. Bello, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good, very good. How are you?
Great, great. Happy to get home, get on. We finally get to chat a little bit. How was
Very
your
good.
day?
It was hectic today. It was a crazy day. Yeah, I had to retreat some root canals from another doctor. It was like nuts.
Went in from your office or from another office?
Yeah, yeah. So the patient, patients don't always follow advice, So they never got the crowns. Things got reinfected, fistula. So yeah,
Whole 9 yards. Pain too? The symptoms came back, or
yeah, yeah,
hmm. That was more than one? You had more than one with that same
yeah,
situation?
yeah. Two teeth side by side. So
Shoot.
same patient.
Oh man. Well, how's the week going so far?
It's good. Good. No complaints. It's been a good week. I've been loving the weather. Certainly better than last week's windstorm.
I agree. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's been real nice. My dad went and played golf today. And I was curious, do you play golf?
I don't play golf. I've never played. Now, I do mini golf, but I've never done real golf.
Because I remember we were talking a lot last time about this was actually a little over a month ago now, but yeah, we were talking about your background in stained glass windows through your dad, your family. I found that so interesting. Yeah, of course I remember. I mean that's fantastic. But did you ever bring that up on like a dental school interview or maybe residency, or did it ever come up?
I just in passing conversation. Yeah, but yeah, not that much. Not as much as you would expect. I did
Really?
actually for a little while. My dad had access to a CNC, which is a computer numerical control. It was a woodworking router. Big piece of machinery, like 5 foot by 8 foot work surface. You know.
Yeah.
So at one point, I had gotten permission from where he worked, Kellenberg, to use it to do some thesis research for Tufts.
No way.
Yeah. I had done a Master of Science Dental Research, and my focus was on using computer numerical control in dentistry to prep teeth. With the idea that it might be more accurate than a person prepping the teeth, more repeatable. You know, so yeah, I needed a machine, and the brothers of Kellenberg gave me permission to go ahead and use it,
That's
which is
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you do
Funny part.
that? Yeah, how did that come about though? Right? You went to Kellenberg, right? Remind me.
I actually went to Chaminade, which is the sister
Shana.
school. Yeah, yeah. They're
I'm
both
St.
run by
Anthony,
the same
so
brother.
either way, you're a rival of mine.
That's right. Either way, the Friars are terrible.
Do they? I heard a rumor that Chaminade has girls going to the school there now. Is that a thing?
Yeah, every Chaminade man would love that to be true, but it's just not.
Still not. It's still not. Okay, okay,
Still
okay.
not true.
This might
No.
have been a
Yeah,
different. This is a different school then. That
yeah.
the
That's
rumor was.
Chaminade College University in Hawaii. Yeah.
Wait, seriously?
No, seriously. Yeah, there's a Chaminade in Hawaii.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah. They're all over the world. Yeah, the Marianists have this funny habit of naming like almost every school they start after their founder, William Joseph Chaminade. So yeah, they're all over the world.
Can you imagine that you worked at Chaminade and then like every summer or winter you get to go? I mean, winter, right? You get to fly to Hawaii and maybe teach over
That'd be
there a
cool.
little bit.
That would be awesome. I would sign up for that.
Not a bad gig, right? If you could do that.
Yeah, I'm not hiring any dentists though. That's I don't know if they're hiring any dentists.
Yeah. What is this? Is it St. Mary's? Which is the sister school for Chaminade?
Well, so officially the only one that's affiliated with Chaminade is Kellenberg, right? But
Hmm.
the all girls school is Sacred Heart, and the one that closed recently was Our Lady of Mercy.
That's what it was. I was thinking of Our Lady Mercy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, it closed.
There's a third all girls school too. I think St. Joseph's Academy out east. Yeah,
Huh. Our
yeah.
Lady Mercy closed. Do you know why they closed? Like what happened there?
I don't really know why for sure. Yeah, but yeah, they closed a couple years ago. Yeah.
That's too bad. There was a girl that I met in college. She was at the first engineering school that I went to. She's an engineer civil and went there. So knowing someone that had gone to that school, it's kind of like when a school closes, I don't know. I feel like,
Yeah,
could you imagine Chaminade closing?
you would lose something from the community. You
Right,
know,
right.
so, definitely. Yeah, I knew plenty of girls who went to that school, and it was just definitely it was a great place for kids to get an education. So you do lose something, and it never really comes back.
Right, right. I
Yeah,
gotta say, in a way of separating, the men and women, the girls and the boys with high school. Sure, in one way, it's like, come on, what are you doing? But then another way, it's like, I feel like the education gets so much better. The distractions are probably
100%. When I would go to class, all I had to worry about was just focusing on class.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. When I got to college, I could see the difference. It was like, there's a little bit, there's more distractions, but it makes it easier to just for everyone in the whole class to just focus on just
Yeah,
class. Yeah, yeah, and I feel like too you know, maybe limited the amount of showboating and high school you get like the weird fights and crazy things happen. You know,
yeah.
less of that because who are you showing off to? There's no one there.
Right, 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 right. And that, did you notice like if the grades kind of went down a little bit at the beginning of college, like just getting adjusted, and then
No, not tolerated.
where did you end up going to college?
Yeah, Boston University.
Okay, okay. So you
Yeah,
went
I
BU.
was very fortunate. I got a scholarship up there. Yep, yep.
Wow.
No, I loved it. BU was great. Absolutely awesome school.
And then from there you went to Tufts, right?
Yep, Tufts for dental school, and then I stuck around for that Master's of Science in Dental Research. Yeah, I've been to quite a few schools.
And then to work in to work in New York, you had to have done a residency, or did you stay working in that area for a little
Oh,
bit?
yeah. So New York has this interesting exception where if you practice in another state for at least 2 years, full time, you've got a good record and everything, you can provide character references, etc. You can get your New York State license.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's exactly what I did. I practiced in Massachusetts 2014, 2015, 2016, and then in 2017 I came down to New York.
That's how it happened. Okay, okay. How do you like it, New York, Long Island, compared to? Because I mean, now you're back in your hometown, neck of the woods, right?
Exactly. It's different. I like it. I've always liked Long Island, but it's fascinating to see the differences in the areas. A lot of Massachusetts, it's not fluoridated, you know.
Hmm.
So the water is just straight water, well water. Everyone's got their own little supply, and the carries rate reflects that. I
Really?
did an awful lot of extractions in Massachusetts. A lot.
Man.
Yeah, yeah. People have more fillings, more crowns, more extractions at a younger age, more dentures, and yeah. But here on Long Island, and it's interesting because Long Island's water supply is also not fluoridated, right?
Right.
But
Right. I was gonna say.
yeah, yeah, it's not fluoridated. But we have, we'll say, kind of some cultural differences where a lot of people are drinking bottled water, a lot of people are drinking different beverages and stuff they bought. They get the halo effect comes into play, and before you know it, you're getting fluoridated anyway. And here, I've noticed the carries rate is much lower. I really don't have that many 20-year-olds that I'm recommending full mouth extractions to. In fact, I
Full
can't
mouth
think of a single one that
extractions.
I've recommended to in the past year.
Full mouth extractions at 20 years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a. I don't know if it's just genetic differences between the populations or diets or what, or there's a lot more smoking up there also, which you wouldn't think, because you think like, oh, it's Boston, it's a college town, but you know, once you get outside the college town part, you've got just New Englanders, and they have a
Yeah.
higher smoking rate than Long Islanders do. So maybe that's a factor. Diet, sun exposure, I don't know what, but
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, there were plenty of folks in their 20s that I was making dentures for.
That's unbelievable. I'm shocked actually. I can't expect that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, big difference. Yeah, yeah. So that was kind of what caught me. I came down here to New York, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, my schedule's not full of extractions.
No, just
Yeah,
root canal retreats.
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, you see this on older patients, but I'm just, yeah. So that was a big shock for me. I was like, wow, okay, things are different.
Of the Boston, Massachusetts area, were you in? Because
Yeah,
could that have been different?
that certainly could be. Maybe different patient populations. So I started off at Geiger Gibson Community Health Center in Dorchester, right? It's right on Columbia Point, shares the same peninsula as UMass Boston. You
Mhm.
know, I was there for about 2.5, 3 years, right? And then after that, I worked for Aspen Dental. Now, when I was at Aspen, I was at 4 different locations, right? One of them was Haverhill, which is right on the border with New Hampshire. It's just right, it's like a border town on the northern part. I was in Hanover, which is kind of like South Shore, right, of Massachusetts. We call it South Shore. It's like south of Boston.
So I get the reference.
They've got their own North Shore, South Shore thing going on there. Yeah, yeah. I was also in Chelmsford, which is also north of Boston, a little south of Haverhill. And then I was in Waltham, which is more or less right on the Charles River, like near Brandeis, just outside of Boston or the Watertown area. Yeah.
Wow, wow. I did a basketball camp at Brandeis. Actually, now that you mention that, that was like, I
Okay.
mean, this is 15 years ago. But yeah,
Sure.
very nice area, very hilly over there. So you were all over for how long were you with Aspen at four different offices all over Boston?
It was inside of just 1 year. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
They had me ping-ponging office to office, covering doc on medical leave, covering doc on maternity, covering a doc over here. It was all over the place.
What was your commuting, like your average commuting time, like,
It
if you
was
remember?
intense, I would say. And that really, it's funny because when I first joined the company, I was like, oh, my commute's going to be better because they were going to assign me to the Waltham office. I was living in Framingham. It was 5 miles. I was like, oh, 5 miles. Sign me up, man. Because it's closer than Dorchester. But then, of course, the ping-ponging started. Yeah, at its worst, it was like 50 miles each way almost. So it was a
50
ball.
miles.
Yeah,
That's an hour. And if you have traffic, forget it.
yeah, yeah. And it was during the winter, too. During the winter up there, I mean, it gets intense. Heavy
Mm,
ice, heavy snow, traffic crawling. It's like ice road truckers up there. It's bad.
yeah, yeah, no, that does sound intense. Do you think you could have done that more than a year? I mean, a year is like that's too much for.
No, I think if that were to be more of a permanent situation, I would say like, look, I have to be just at one office. It's got to be like guaranteed that I'm going to stay here, and I need to move up the street. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Do you think that's common for people signing on to DSOs or Aspen Dental? Because I'm hearing a lot of that with Aspen, especially. But
Yeah, I think that's kind of an Aspen issue. Currently, I work for DSO Great Expressions, and I have not had that type of bounce all over, go here, go there type of situation. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's probably unique to them, and it might even be just unique to the Boston area.
Right, right. I do know some of the associates in our practice, they cover two offices. It is common for a lot of them to cover two. I mean, I told Dr. Chefkin in my contract I only wanted to cover one office in Melville because I didn't want that ping pong effect. I mean, then you spend time preparing for this office and this office, and like, oh, that patient's going to this office today, and I don't know. I think yeah, and it's hard to keep track of it all, right? And then the other referring doctors. Say you're referring to somewhere, and this patient can only go. Oh, you can only do Thursdays. That endodontist or prosthodontist is only there on Friday. That makes it tough. That adds another level, another dimension of friction to patient care. With Great Expressions, how are you liking? How many years have you been there now? That's 8. Oh, what were you doing for? Right, that's right. So tell me, what about that time period from 2017? You said until.
Yeah. Primarily, I work with a group out east called Sachem Dental.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Yeah, you may have heard of them, or they have 6 offices, multi-specialty. Each location's pretty large. The one I was at had 20 chairs. Um,
Which one were you at? Because I'm in Smithtown. There's one like in Wisconsin, I
that's
think.
right. There's one in Wisconsin. Yeah, I was at the Wisconsin office for about a year. That was back like 2018, somewhere around
Mm.
the time period. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then after that, I was primarily at the Patchogue Holbrook Road location, which is right off exit 61.
Oh man, so now South Shore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this whole time, wait a minute, no, because now I'm starting to think you're way back west. You're in Nassau or Queens.
I'm in Glen Cove. Yeah,
Nassau, right? Yeah.
yeah, Nassau. Yeah, so
So
it was
now
all there as well. It was a long drive for a long time.
I was gonna say, and how many years were you in the Patchogue office?
Yeah, well, basically 2018 until a couple months ago. So
That was
yeah.
a 45-minute drive, no?
Oh, at least. It's if you didn't have any traffic, like during COVID when a lot of folks weren't driving, working from home, I could
Yeah.
get there in like 40 minutes because it's mostly the expressway, you know. But yeah, once traffic picked up again and it was back to the usual, some days it'd be an hour and a half if there were accidents. You just kind of sitting, crawling, finding alternative routes. And I mean, the accidents on 495, wow. Like,
The whole road. It's
things
just
that
like,
I
come
was
on,
like, oh my God.
we got 3 other lanes, guys. Come on, stop looking at the. We gotta get to work.
Right. Yeah. 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 Or occasionally, you'd have like, a semi flipped over on its side, blocking all the lanes There was one day I saw we were wedged underneath one of the overpasses, like 5 or 6 semis, flipped over, twisted. It was just like a 40, 50 car pileup. It was just horrific, you know? So, yeah, you see some strange stuff on, on 495.
So you went from a long commute up in the Boston area, Massachusetts area, to another long commute
Another
for
long
several
commute.
years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, why the if I can, why the switch to Great Expressions from there though? I mean, but besides commute, commute is obviously your commute
Commute.
now is you're in
Yeah,
Levittown now?
definitely the commute was a big factor in it. You know, when I was looking around, I was thinking like I want some place that I'm going to be close, so I don't have to repeat this type of long time in the car thing because
Right.
it's it's hard, you know. And then I went on interviews a bunch of different places. I went to some places in the city, some places around Nassau County. And Great Expressions had a pretty good deal going.
Mm.
They were very much willing to respect my clinical autonomy. So I'm in charge of my own cases. No one's like calling me up and be like, so why didn't you plan 3 crowns there instead of just 2?
Yeah.
No, yeah, yeah. So no one's up my wazoo about that kind of stuff. But you're a regular W-2 employee, so you get the benefits. You get health insurance, which is great. You get
Mm.
a very fair compensation, which staircases up as you're more productive, which is great.
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids. So health insurance was a big ticket item for me to be like, okay, yeah,
That's a big one. And now remind me, you're in the Levittown office?
the Levittown office. That's
Yeah,
correct.
I
Right.
knew it. Okay, cool. So you're in Levittown, coming down from Glen Cove. That's not too bad. That's not too. What are you, 20 minutes now?
Yeah, 20 minutes, half an hour. It's not bad at all. Yeah, very doable.
Speaking of Glen Cove, there's an orthodont. I think it's Lion Orthodontics or something. Sean Czar, one of my buddies from dental school, he's there now. I don't know if that's in the referral kind of pathway for you, but it's always nice to connect the dots a little bit.
Yeah, no, usually not. I found that, another interesting difference between Long Island patients and Massachusetts patients. Here, everyone defines like nearby as like within a 1 mile radius. It's like if it's not within 1 mile, it's far away. Oh, you know.
And then what's it? Everyone either uses like some people. I know some people where they're like everything's 15 minutes. It could be 45 minutes away, but yeah, it's 15 minutes down the road.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's always a funny thing. What so you said you had a class at 8. I know. I want to be mindful of your
indeed. We've
time.
only got 4 minutes left.
So, and thank you. Thanks for hanging out a little bit today.
Sure, absolutely.
What's this class? Because you said you did your master's up in Boston in materials and stuff. Tell me about this class.
Yeah. So this class is just a CE course tonight on pharmacology. Nothing.
That's pretty cool. Any pharmacology topics that you're of interest lately?
No, nothing in particular. I'm a pretty boring prescriber. Basically, I prescribe antibiotics and occasionally ibuprofen.
Sure. Do you do you do implants, right? Yeah.
I restore them. I don't place them surgically, but I restore them.
Really? Well, then send me a few so I can have something that you can restore.
No,
Come on.
no. I can't send them to you. It's a conflict of interest.
Recently, I've been prescribing vitamin D just to see if the 2000 IU. I wanted to see if I can, and I'm like notating how the results of it been. I don't know if it'll make a big difference, but I want to see if there's any sign of improvement. Patients like versus a control to see if there's any improvement. So just something I'm doing on the side. I've heard of significant increases of osseointegration and stuff, but we'll see how it goes.
It seems like it would make sense scientifically. I was at a class not too long ago where they were talking about the oral microbiome and how,
Mm,
you know, prescribing different kinds of, oral biotics, kind of like probiotics, that you would
right.
do for the gut, for the mouth, is actually helpful in controlling periodontal disease and managing caries. And I was like, yeah, I suppose promoting good bacteria would be helpful.
For sure. For
Sense?
sure. Yeah, and I wonder if we were due to do that for Long Islanders versus Massachusetts residents in the area that you were talking about. See
Yeah.
how that would go.
Well, I did have, some curiosities that, I mean, I'm sure you're aware with vitamin D, the angle of the sunlight actually plays a big role in the ability of the body to produce vitamin D at different times of the year. And Massachusetts, and certainly as you get up into New Hampshire, the angle of the sunlight is poorer for producing vitamin D. And that might be a reason why, there was such a difference in the teeth, despite
Yeah.
both populations, on paper at least, not having fluoride. and being relatively similar. But then, there are other confounding factors too, like smoking habits, for example. Methamphetamine use is very big up there. It's not really so common here on the island. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
definitely has to do it. I'd be curious to see that the angulation of the sun compared to Canadians too. If we were to keep going,
Right. We keep
that'd be
going north.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I know you got to sign on to this other one, but 7:59. But Dr. Bello, thanks so much for coming on and chatting, and we'll do it again sometime.
Definitely. 100%.
I'm going to
100%.
be putting this on the Long Island Dentist podcast. I'm trying to, let's all get to know each other, and we could go to C courses and stuff. I think we'll see what opportunities present itself from it.
Well, I know a couple of us docs over at Great Expressions. We actually started a little study club, and the company is gonna, because we can get CE for it, they're gonna let us make it into like official thing. So I'm gonna
Oh, amazing.
start asking them and see like, hey, can we bring outside docs in to present or to be part of it? And I definitely got you in mind if that's the case. If they say sure.
Please, yeah. Oh, I wish if you had the date and time, let's do a part two, so then we could talk about it on the podcast, and then other people could come if outsiders are allowed, of course.
Right. Right. Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Very
Well, I
good.
know you got to go, Dr.
All
Bell.
right.
Thanks so much.
Have a great night, man.
You too. You too.
All right.